Okay, in our first lesson I talked a lot about styles and the advantages of using styles. There are so many advantages of using styles, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a few of the reasons why you should. Firstly, without even having to show you, one of the things about styles is that it does allow you to create a document that is consistent in its look and feel. So all the headings have the same style, colour, font, etc., without you having to try and figure out and remember what styling you used for each heading. So I'm just going to go and randomly choose some levels and styles for this. So do the heading, it's a heading 1, we make that a heading 2, a heading 2, make that a heading 2, 2, 2, make that a heading 3, make that, go back one, make that a heading 3, come on, select, make that a heading 2, heading 2, oops, heading 2, might need to put a new battery in my mouse, make that a heading 2, and maybe make that a heading 3, there we go. Navigation pane on the side here, you can see the levels, heading 1's, heading 2 which has levels underneath it, and something has a level underneath it. So I can contract these down or grow them out. I can move things using the navigation pane as well. So if I wanted to move the scope verification section, I can move it to a different spot. So I can use the navigation. So I can click on view and I can turn the navigation on and off over here. So view, view. I'll turn it off for the moment and just have a look at outline view. And outline view is very similar, where you have the pluses if you have a heading or a level, and you can move throughout the document. So very, very simple to drag and drop a section. Move it in, move it out. So I'll close that. Again, you can see we've probably messed it up a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the sort of things that we can do with it. Other things about using styles is that in Office 2013 it's under the Design tab, but in Office 2010 you have them over here. So I'm just going to click in Design, and you can apply different themes. So if I apply a theme like that, you can see that because I've used styles, it has taken on the styles of the new theme, because that's the way they roll. So and you can see that previews and things like that. So you can change. So let's go back and select this particular theme. I can also change color sets. So if I want funky yellow, I can choose a different color set, but keeping it within the style. Same thing, I can change the fonts, and again it's changing, so changing the whole document. Anywhere where we've applied a style, it can take on new attributes. So that's a nice way of being able to style a document too, is being able to change it. So even if you think using styles makes it look like any other document, just a few changes to it by changing the theme can make the document look totally different. So I think that's a really good advantage of using styles as well. Just go back to the home ribbon here. So that's another reason. So no reasons not to. What else can we talk about styles? I know I mentioned about table of contents, and because we've used styles, and I'll come back to table of contents in a second, but it all comes down to because we've used styles. If you want to change a style, for example, let's say that I don't like the font here, or I don't like the color, or something like that. If I want to, I can actually change this around a bit, change maybe the size slightly if I want it to be a little bit bigger. And all I need to do is, if I want to update everywhere I've used that particular style, if I right mouse button and go update heading 1 to match selection, which is where my mouse is at the moment, and you'll see that anywhere else where it's used a heading 1, which is probably just the only other place, has actually taken on the new attributes. So once you've done them, you can even modify the styles, and again it will flow through your document. If you want to totally modify the style, you can click on any of the styles, go right mouse button and choose modify, and then you can actually change any of the things here, the font, bold, underline, centers. You can go under the format here and do things like format paragraph, and in format paragraph you have the level option, which in this case is a level 2, spacing before and after, etc. You can, under here again, you can change border, language, numbering, all sorts of things that you can change. And then when you change anything, and I'll just do something simple, maybe I'll make that a 12 point and italic, for example, and just click OK, and again you can see that it has flowed through to every other occurrence. So now it's a little bit bigger and it's italic, so every other occurrence of that style. So it's just, yeah, so many things that you can do with it. My other thing, I'll show you with table of contents. I'm just going to go Control Home to take it to the very top of the document. I'll press Enter to bring it in, and I'll just change the style back to normal there so that I've got a blank line there. And I'm going to create a table of contents. So there's a few ways of creating a table of contents. I'll just click on References. You can go through the table of contents, highlight text, mark it, and then generate it. But because we've used styles, we can create one automatically just by simply going up here, choosing one of the automatic tables, so one or the other, click, and voila, based on our levels, and you can see the indenting and stuff based on the levels of our document, and the levels are linked to the styles. Again, home and home. If I open one of these up, so I'll maybe open this one and modify here and go into paragraph, you can see that this is a level 3, and I can change that. Some of them you can change, some of them you can't, depends on the way it's been set up. What you can do though is you can create, when you create a new style, I'm just going to click cancel there for the moment. When you create a new style, or when you update a style, if I just go, for example, modify, you can actually base it on different styles. So you can choose the heading one which has all of the levels, and that's set. I'm not going to change it, so I'm just going to click. But there's our table of contents. The beauty about doing a table of contents like this is that if I make some changes and move things around, or so let's go into, say, View, and go into, let's put the navigation pane on, and let's say that I move something around like that, move that up to there, for example, and I move that to there. I've now moved things around, so this is actually not accurate anymore. All I need to do is I can right mouse button on it and choose update. I can choose to update just the page numbers or the entire table. I'm going to choose the entire table, and you can see that that's now altered based on the new places that I've put things on the page. So that's now up to date. I haven't had to do anything about it. I haven't had to try and find which things are on each page and manually change it. I just a couple of clicks of a button and it changes it automatically. So that's really the nuts and bolts of styles and why you should use them. Hopefully I have